So hello there, anybody who is here and present in my visual prowess. I do jumble words very easily because I like to talk shit. Basically, the Gears of War series passed through. Damn, bro, you already going? You ain't even let me get the let me get it out, bro. Let me get it out. What the whole thing is about? I get it. You see the title and all, but let me get it out. All right. So, today's podcast, as we can clearly see, is going to be about games that had potential and just didn't make it. All right? Games that were supposed to be good based on what we received from the beginning and what we did not get towards the middle or end. You dig? You dig? Now, I have an extenuated list. It's a pretty good list. It may not be the same list as everybody else, and opinions vary very heavily. Now, given that you have mentioned the Gears of War, I cannot, in all bias, add that to the list, to be fair, because not only did I not play all of the Gears of War, the ones I played, I felt like they actually did their job. I don't think Gears of War deserves to be on this type of list of games that had potential and just didn't cut it. But if you had thought I wasn't gonna have a list for this, oh, we have a list. And we're gonna start off nice and strong with this list too. Let's follow me over here, real. All right, nothing's on the screen. Nothing on the screen. Not yet. No, nothing on the screen yet. But give it a second. Give it a second. Hold up. 1 second. No, I don't think Gears makes that. See, same. Gears don't make that list. 1 to 3 was amazing. Four, I didn't even know they had a 4 to 5 for one. Were cheap cash grabs? That's just sad. Yeah, I didn't even know they had that many for one. To be fair. 1 second. Now, this is gonna hurt feelings. This is gonna hurt feelings very heavily because this is one of my most beloved games that had probably the greatest potential to be amazing forever, and it was briefly destroyed. Briefly, for no reason. It was destroyed just because it was bought by the wrong people. Yo, shut up. Let me get to the point, people. Let me do it. Okay, let me do it. Let me get there. Let me get there, all right? Can I get there? Can I get there? Let- Yo, stop. Let me get there. But yes, yes, that is it. Evolve. Fucking evolve. If you haven't played this game, you really missed out on something that was a spectacle. This was literally the fucking start of the fucking asymmetrical horror games that are just beyond grand. This was the start of the 4v1 games. The start of the most beautiful, choreographed, created monocle of love. I have heavy bias towards this game because it was absolutely amazing. And it baffles me to the fullest degree that it was shut off way before its time. It didn't deserve it. It didn't deserve the death that it received. It was amazing. The game had it had no real flaws to it, to be fair. A game that has no flaws. Like, bro, even to this day, this game has been deleted. They actually closed the service to this game. So if you have the original game, you can't play it online. Like you can play the game still. You can't play online though. You have to play a localized version of it or sharing your game to other people. That is the only way you can play it with your own friends. But literally, this game has been its service cut the fuck off. But they sold the IP of the game to other people, and other people have made their own Well, there's the same game, but they made the game playable. They have their own servers basically, and people still play it to this day. The game is still being played to this day. So it's just like clearly it was never meant to die. The game was never meant to die, but it was killed off because sadly Turtle Rock Studio went and sold it to fucking 2K. Why the fuck would y'all sell y'all game to 2K? I get it. Maybe y'all needed like y'all might have been running low on funds, right? Because y'all probably tried to make another game that y'all didn't have the money for, and it just didn't work out. But this game was amazing. People played this. People bought skins religiously, and then y'all even made a stage 2. Y'all made a sequel to the game for only PC, and then the game got sold off to 2K. Do y'all not understand that y'all sold your game to people that have no care or want in this type of game? Not at all. You ruined it. It was thrown away for free. No reason behind it. This game had the greatest potential. That's why it is on the fucking top of the list. This game had the literal greatest potential. And a lot of people still don't even know what it is. Most people don't even know about this game. You know what? Because people need to get a visual of it, right? Just a visual. I'm gonna give y'all the trailer, like the launch trailer of this game. You're gonna get to see it. I'm gonna let y'all see it because it's worth it. This game is 100% worth it.
Peggy 16.
Check this shit out. Just check this shit out and enjoy. Exactly. That's all they saw. They probably was hoping that 2K would continue their game too. They probably thought that 2K would continue with this game. But no, they got tricked like a lot of people who sell their businesses to owners that make their businesses a strip club. They got barbershopped. That's what happened. They literally got barbershopped and they don't even know it. Or it's too late for them to care at this point. But look at this game, man. This trailer by itself was crazy enough to draw us in. Oh my god. And majority of that is literally in-game visuals. Majority of this trailer was in-game visuals. Saints Row? See, the only no, I didn't put Saints Row on the list because the way I look at Saints Row, it was just another game that's just like Grand Theft Auto. And because they made so many, I couldn't put it on the list because it's like they kept making them. The game didn't it wasn't bad enough for it to keep going. And honestly, I can't remember a Saints Row that was actually bad. It had it just basically did one thing. It's just like Grand Theft Auto. Yo, if you know what game is next, I'm gonna be surprised. I ain't gonna lie. If you know exactly what game is coming up next, you are a demon. Oh man. Evolve was one of the mightiest games. And that is why it just had to make the list because if you have ever played this game, you literally it didn't matter. Like so well, no, it did matter. Teams mattered. I mean, teams mattered heavily, yeah, honestly. But it's just like, bro, you play that game and you get like you get the greatest intensity of like I'm in that game. Does it involve two famous sci-fi monsters? No, I don't think so. No, no, no. That's not the next game on the list for something that had potential, sadly. I don't know what game you're thinking about. It'd be funny if I could figure out what you're thinking about, but no. No, no, no. But guys. Shut up, fool. It's not my job to think right now. It's my job to fucking talk. My job is to talk about these games. Shut up. Damn. See, I actually was close to putting that game. I was close to putting that game on the list, but I actually didn't put that game on the list either. Only because I didn't play it long enough for me to know whether or not if it really did flop. So I couldn't put it on the list. The only games that I've honestly put on my list are games that I played like extended amount of hours of and actually make a credible decision on whether or not if it was worth its value, generally speaking. So, but yes, back on Evolve though. Back on Evolve. Think about it this way: this was the first game that brought the entire 4v5, I mean the 4v1 genre to the board. This game had celebrities making trailers for it. Like it literally had celebrities making trailers for this game. Like hold up. Let me see if they have any of those. Marvel Eternals. How the hell we get that? Hold up. Like it had a bunch of trailers and like it was just so crazy of the people that was playing it. Hold on, is this it? I don't know if it was a trailer. It actually might have ended up being like something else entirely. 2014 though, bro. 2014.
Right into the action here in an early game.
Fortnite Saved the World had potential, but nah, VR took priority. Fortnite Saved the World doesn't count.
Joined by co-founder of Turtle Rock Studios, Chris Ashton.
That type of thing does not count. You would have to say Fortnite entirely. Like we're not talking about specific pieces in the games. And yes, technically 11 years ago now, because we're in 2025. So 11 years ago, bro.
So right now he's just trying to get distance and food.
And staging up is so important. Not only does it make him tanky, but he gets to place more skill points into all of those abilities.
Yeah, I don't think this is what I'm looking for. But nah, besides the point. That's besides the point, guys. This game literally had everything you could want in this type of game. For one, you jump into a game. You jump into a game as fucking 4 hunters. You're not expecting anything if you don't know what you're dealing with. First of all, you know what monster you're dealing with because it shows the monster at the beginning of the match. So you know what monster you're dealing with, but you're not knowing what you're gonna be dealing with for the rest of the map. The whole game was like it was you against the whole map. It's not even you just against the monster. There are so many fucking things on the map that can kill you faster than the monster. Like you could just be running with your team. Next thing you know, you're inside of a fucking plant. You're in a Venus flytrap getting chewed the hell out. Or you could turn the corner. Next thing you know, you're running into a goddamn alligator demon with 4 arms. Remember the first time my coworker mentioned it and I never heard of it. But once I looked it up, I was yo, bro. It was literally my first game I got for PS4. The albino, yes. The 2 different albinos, you could it was 3 albinos. There was the goddamn alligator demon, there was the goddamn big ass giraffe monster, and then there's the fucking Hulk rush you down rolling thunder demon monster fucker. Like, you just had 3 albinos on the map that was just like, if I run into these, you're probably dead. You accidentally run into them, you are probably going to die if you're not with your team. And you had to have a really good team. Early game, everyone is dead. And the monster will never have to do anything. You just see the game over and you're wondering what happened. That is how good Evolve was. I had to take a minor pause because I was just into it. Mini bosses, basically, you had the team fight. Yes, you did. And what's crazy is you can end up using all your resources just to fight the little mini bosses on the environmental map. And then the monster will attack you. And then you're fucked. It's just like, wow, we just put everything into this creature just to get smited from behind by the goddamn monster. Potential was through the fucking roof with this game, guys. It had characters, and then it kept making more characters. This was the first game where you will buy something and not care about actually buying it. Like, we was free. We like expenses. Yeah, some of the skins, some of the fucking things you did buy on it were expensive. You would have to spend some money. Like I think like for one skin it was like $10 each. But then it's just like the game is so good, we don't actually give a fuck at this point. We have dropped money on that game. And then they brought out variations way later off in the match. They brought out new variations to your main characters. The 4 main hunters all got a new name, got a new ability. They still had the same class, because there are classes. There was an assault class, support class, medic class, and the trapper class. I made the trapper because the trapper was just always fun as hell to be. But those classes make up everything you needed. And then it was so many characters. I think the hunters had a good like 16 character roster by themselves. Then the monsters had at least 8. Like it was staying in a good order. It was beautiful. The game had the greatest potential. Evolve probably had the greatest potential of any game that just didn't get to make it. A whole DLC was $25. Everyone thought it was too pricey, but what do duels cost today? Honestly, yes. Back then, actually, $25 is actually cheap for DLCs, because DLC nowadays is new games. DLC nowadays is a whole new fucking game. So yes, this game it just was like, I don't even know how. If you haven't played it, you really I can't fathom the right information for y'all to understand how good this game was. Like, if I had to take back anything, right? If I had to remove a game from this day and age to have Evolve come back, I would throw away, like, bro, I think I would throw away any fucking new fighting game that just recently came out. I'm willing to throw away Dead by Daylight. Clearly, I'll easily throw Dead by Daylight away. Like it's just good. It was just that good. It was my first PlayStation 4 game since I got my console. It was literally the first one. Well, technically Until Dawn was, but that came with the console, so we're not gonna talk about that. But Evolve was the first bought PS4 game I got. But I digress. We have a decently long list here, so we're not gonna continue talking about Evolve. For our next monster on the list, right? Next game that had potential to be amazing, and I'm pretty sure a majority of you know about this game. Oh, hold up. I'm mad I have the right game in front of everything. Boom. Anthem, guys. Anthem is the next game on my list. I don't know how many of you have played it. I don't know how many of you actually seen it. But if you fucking saw the trailer of this fucking game, you would understand why it had potential to be absolutely phenomenal. Like, this game was fun with your friends, fun by yourself. It was overall just amazing. I said amazing. You know, English is hard when I'm talking a lot. This game, like, when you first start, okay, I'll say it like this. You play the game, you beat the story, and then that's it. Everything else after that, the game is boring as hell. And that's because they put no information in this. This game was a huge... Yes! This game was it was a masterful lie. A super master lie. Because, hold on, let me see. Cause I think they might still have it, which is crazy. They might still have it. Let's look at this launch trailer real quick, guys. Look at this launch trailer, and then we'll see if this is the one that made it a lie.
You are the chosen few, protectors of our world. This is your time.
Oh my God.
Out there, you will fight the unimaginable.
I don't know what's up with my words bugging. Your words are bugging because you're typing like a psychopath.
Feel the power of your javelin, its precision.
Look at this game, though. Look at this fucking game. You can't tell me that this game doesn't look amazing already from just the trailer alone. The trailer alone had this game looking like it was supposed to be crazy.
Never give up.
You think Anthem had you tight? Anthem had everybody tight. Everyone who played this game was tight. Okay, so that wasn't the trailer I'm thinking about. What was it? It had to be like the first gameplay trailer, right? It was this one right here, right? It had to be.
Get matched today with the tac.
Yeah, none of that, none of that, none of that.
Hi, I'm John Warner, game director for Anthem.
Bro, when I tell y'all, this game right here had potential. It had to go second on my list because of how much potential it actually it had. It was there. It was there, and we got fucking played.
Freelancer.
Praxley,
Listen, there's trouble. Big trouble.
what did you do?
I made a mistake.
How it goes from being that loud to
People.
just this quiet out of sudden.
I know. They said they could handle it, and the price was right. I thought maybe.
Unbelievable.
You're right. It was stupid. I'm sorry. But they're still out there. Somewhere. If you could just bring them back.
For one, the quality wasn't bad either. It actually looks pretty good. Like, that was not bad looking quality. Voice acting was pretty damn good.
I'll get to it tomorrow.
Like, look at
In the world
this.
of Anthem, you and your friends are freelancers, the heroes who leave the safety of the walls of Fort Tarsus to explore the unknown and protect humanity. Let's join two players as they head out on an expedition.
Hey, Paul. You ready to go?
We're just grabbing some supplies, just about ready.
What are you going to use today?
And are heavily customizable so they look and play how you want.
Like, look at the game, guys. Look at this shit.
Looking good.
Man, this
Hey,
game,
better water,
it was so good. It was so good when we first started playing it. Now, this is the part that's going to be a fucking gets us all tight situation, right? Because there's one sequence about this fucking gameplay trailer that was an extreme
This is a vast
lie.
open world you explore with your friends. Each Javelin exosuit has its own unique playstyle. The Ranger is balanced and all-purpose, while the Colossus is a tanking powerhouse.
All right. Let's see what's up here.
The world of Anthem is hostile, and threats can come from any direction. It's a dynamic world where the unexpected is around every corner.
I'm not sure we want to use all our supplies on this guy.
Look at this shit, guys.
He
Just look at
seems like
this
a
shit.
problem for another day.
Like, bro, any other game would have forced you to have to fight that right then and there.
You flank.
Like, it would have forced you. And look at that! Environmental fucking prowess! You can literally go from being in the sky, chilling, to just jumping into the water. Like, all of this. Like, this was amazing. This is fucking peak gaming, yo. Peak gaming. Peak fucking animation. Peak work. Lies. Fucking lies. Lies! It's just like, yo, all of this right here. If you play the game, you know for a fact that everything you're seeing right here is a lie.
Hello, treasure.
Imagine a game giving you a trailer of information, right? A trailer of all its gloriness and beauty. Just did not put it in the fucking game.
I think we got some action ahead.
This whole fucking mission, this whole sequence was not in the game at all. You spend your entire time playing the goddamn game wondering, when is this gonna happen in the game? When do we get to have this monumental movement to enjoy this one sequence here? It didn't happen. It wasn't in the game. They took an entire fucking trailer of gameplay and didn't even put it in the game. Look at this motherfucker. By the way, that attack, it don't feel the same when the game either.
Covering fire.
That nuke didn't feel nothing like it in the game. All that live gameplay, oh my god. I mean, all of this shit. They're showing so much gameplay, right? But none of this was in the game. How does that make sense? How does that make sense to anything, guys? And this is exactly why I say game had fucking potential. This game had potential. Extreme potential. Strong potential. And what the fuck did we get, guys? What did we get? We got a half-ass version of all of this. We got the half-ass version. Not only was it half gameplay, half story, half mechanic, all of it. Everything that we got to have here on this gameplay trailer was a fucking hoax. Like, I'm not even going to let you see the rest of it. Like, the video is basically over, but we're not even going to look at the rest of it. Because it's going to show me something else that pisses me the fuck off. And I don't want y'all to see it. Because it's like, why the fuck? Why the fuck did y'all go through this? Why did y'all make us go through this? This pain. This decadence of hate. But I digress. This game, it still was fun. The time that we did play it, it still was fun. It's fun with your friends. That's the better way to put it. It's fun with your friends. Because the moment you start playing by yourself, you realize how much you don't enjoy the game. You realize how much you've been lied to. It's just, the enemies weren't even that impressive in the game. And there was a literal antagonist to the game. The story ended so quick, you don't even get the feeling, like, you don't get it. But, Anthem, you came on second. You came second on the list for that reason alone. But okay, guys. Now, let's go to the next game, guys. Oh man, I don't know if this game is going to stress certain people out or not. But me personally, I feel like this game also had it had potential to be better than what it is. I'm not gonna say it was absolutely garbage, but it was absolutely garbage. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. When I tell you this game was another game that had potential to actually be decent. Like, I already knew what it was. It's one of my fave superhero games on the list nobody liked but me. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. But, I mean, you see what I'm looking at right now. So, maybe. But, bro. When I say that this game when I first saw the trailer, I kind of already had a feeling of what kind of game we was going to be into. Like, I already knew we was going to be dealing with, like, a looter-shooter situation, etc., right? But the characters, the potential characters, made me, like, think otherwise. Because it's a Suicide Squad, right? So you're thinking maybe you get all the different Suicide Squad characters. I'm like, you know what? I can find fun in this. If I get either Killer Croc, if I get Killer Shark, I mean, whatever, King Shark, the fuck his name is. Like, I'm thinking, okay, certain characters pique my interest, and they make me want to play them. And then the gameplay is just like, okay, we got like this big open area to go do whatever the hell we want. We're fucking shit up. We're destroying things. We gotta fight Brainiac's minions, this and that. We're like, it was cool. It was nice. It was decent. We had it was okay. I would say it was pretty okay. It was okay. It was fun with friends. By myself, I probably could not play this for more than like 20 minutes, to be fair, because the game just how do I say it? Its repetitiveness was beyond the amount it needed. I could not continue to enjoy it. This may not bode well with the same opinions for everyone, but the game, in all intents and purposes, did not feel as it should have. But like we did with everything else, let's check the trailer, and I want to see, like, how do y'all feel about it? Like, cause me personally, I'm like, I was coaxed into playing it because of the trailer.
We trusted you.
Plus, you know, me being a villain of person, I was cool with the idea of killing all the heroes. What I didn't know is that the heroes are technically just being controlled by Brainiac, so that kind of bored the idea out of me afterwards. It's just like, oh, so they're not actually just them and we're being villains. We're technically being heroes.
This earth down for me.
Flash, how do I stop this?
You have to kill us, Diana. We have to die to save the world.
We can work with that.
See, but look at it. Look at it. You can't tell me that it doesn't look good. Like, I know trailers are meant to do their job, right? Their job is to make games look good. But we as game players, we are our own critics. So anytime we watch a trailer, we look for anything we understand is not gonna look fun to us. And there wasn't a lot that showed that this didn't look like it could be possibly fun.
The fastest man alive, according to all these girlfriends.
Like, this, look at it, it's so chaotic. Everything about this shit is so chaotic, but it looks fun. Like, first thoughts, obviously I'm seeing like, yes, we're about to get a bunch of shooting in a game. But the video shows there's melee too. There was melee. There was a version of melee. And then it's just like, what the fuck we supposed to do against Superman? Like, that was just like, there was no way, right? There was no way. Yes. So it was just like, okay, yeah, that game was supposed to be better than it was. It really wasn't, though. It was not. Like, it was, like, for one, the melee of the goddamn game. The melee of the goddamn game was like, you get, imagine having a cooldown on a melee punch. Like, imagine that. That's what the melee was. You had cooldowns on your punching. Had a phone call, but not the superhero games I expected. But yeah, that makes the list. But for some reason, it's skipping for me. Skipping. It might just be where you are, cause I'm also watching myself, and I'm not having that issue. But if anybody else can tell me whether or not if it's scripting, then I can try to fix it. But I don't think there is anything for me to potentially fix. Yeah. You do that. My people, my sayings though. This game, Suicide Squad it could have been better. There's not much I want to say on this game particularly because there's not much I can say on it. I just think it was, in all honesty, it could have been an honorable mention. But as I say for all of them, it had potential. That's the best way I could put it. This game had potential and it just did not do what it was supposed to do. Alright, so let's move on to the next game that actually had a little bit more potential in my head. But turned out to be almost just as garbage in its own way. Now this one's definitely going to stress heads out again. Oh, don't even gotta go far. You already know what I'm looking at. Gotham Knights. They dropped the ball first season, and I knew it was going to be terrible. Yep, they sure the hell did. But yep, Gotham Knights, guys. This game had one of the most fun combat systems, best team multiplayer beautifulness to it. But then there's also the obviousness that pops up with it. It had to be something wrong with it, right? Something had to be wrong with it. It was sort of stiff as hell. Like, while the combat was amazing, it also was buggy in the most part. It was heavily based on internet, so it didn't actually function off your own internet. If anybody you joined, it would basically go by how their internet was, and it would mess up the entire server. No. Gotham Knights wasn't garbage. Did I say it was garbage? No, I don't know. I can't say it was garbage. The game was fun. I managed to play it all the way up into the end, like, enjoyingly. It just had its moments, for sure. Like, it lost a lot. Did I say it was garbage? Okay, well, maybe I said it was garbage. It might be garbage. That time I definitely said it. It might be a tiny bit garbage. Compared to what it could have been, it might be a little bit garbage. The game has its funs to it, though. It had its potential, as I said. You said it had more potential, but still garbage. Yes, I did say that. That's exactly what I said, garbage. So, okay. Yeah. Like, the ability... I feel... How do we... Should we break this down based on the characters, right? We should break this down based on the characters. I don't feel like every character that was in the game that you could actually play, I don't feel like they got the best of their abilities that they should have had, for one. Like, for one, if we had to go on Red Hood first, Red Hood should not have been so goddamn, like, heavily only focused on his guns. Every character had their own things to them with ranged and fucking melee, right? That they swap between. But Red Hood, they made him so gun favoritist. Even he just doesn't put them away. Like, the guns are basically glued to his fucking hands, which made his character feel absolutely stupid. Because if anybody knows about Red Hood in any way, he can fight. He's not only guns. He's not like he's fucking Deathstroke or fucking Deadpool, or like Deadpool's on Marvel, but understand the reference. He's not those characters. He's not Deadshot. Shit, like all these dead characters, so dumb. It's like all of them have one fucking idea and with the character naming. But yes, he's none of those characters. He was Red Hood. Bro had the same fucking training that all the other goddamn characters received. But they made him like he's only a gun user. Besides the fact that we're using rubber fucking bullets with mystical powers in them all of a sudden, right? It didn't change the fact that the character I wanted him to play. I wanted to play him the most. Like, he was the character that I most enjoyed as a character. Deathstroke, Deadpool still had hands, but continue. Yes, exactly. But those characters are known for using the guns and the weapons and such. while this motherfucker, Red Hood, technically he's not known for that. He's not only known for using guns. The fact that they made it like that it felt so stupid. It ruined the character. Especially considering that some of the other characters had shit that just made them ridiculous. Like Batgirl, bitch had the best fucking combo / goddamn executions. She could literally wipe the floor with every enemy, doing massive damage. But she technically in the show is not better than any of the other three. But she did feel like it. She fucking felt like it in this game. Like it was some type of fucking female favoritism that was hilariously put in there. And this is not even the time of woke. But guns is a huge factor to him. He is known for killing people with guns. I don't give a damn. He's also known for throwing hands. Red Hood also throws hands. He don't just sit there with guns and beat you with guns. He had hands. Oh, Batgirl was broken. Yes, Batgirl was fucking insane. And don't even get us fucking started on like, matter of fact, and another character that honestly did not get what he was meant to have either, Nightwing. Nightwing probably had the weirdest fucking ultimate as a character. Like, I feel like they were supposed to switch Batgirl and Nightwing's ultimate. Because Batgirl is technically fucking supposed to be the commissioner's daughter. And she's the fucking brains of the operation. Like, if you don't know, she's technically Oracle. And Oracle is the brains of the operation, of the whole situation. So that whole ability that Nightwing was given to fucking throw up a field that heals everybody, that was so fucking stupid. It's like, did y'all even try to think about the characters at all when y'all made the game? Or was y'all just doing shit? Like, in what retrospect does that look like his ultimate? Like, it was supposed to be his ultimate. What the fuck what else would we give Nightwing, right? We give him combos. We give him some crazier shit. Like, why the fuck would one of the most iconic and well-known characters be garbage? Like, why would they do that? That was probably the worst thing ever. Like, and that's something that ruins the game's potential. And then we move on to we can move on to either one, Nathan Drake, or we can move into Damian. Both characters could have been better than they were, but they weren't. Simple fact is, Damian's character never got a sword. Unless I don't remember a sword. I mean, hold up, I can't remember. I don't think he got the sword. Ghost, you tell me, because I mean you played the game religiously. Did Damian have his sword, or was Damian not even in the game? Or like, was it Nathan Drake and then somebody else? Because I'm pretty sure it was like Damian was there, right? Oh, so Damian wasn't even one of the people, right? It was a skin, right? Didn't they just make a skin of him or something like that? It was Tim Drake. Ah, it was Tim Drake. So wait. So what did we have here? We had Red Hood, Tim, Nightwing. Red Hood, Tim, Nightwing. Oh my God, that's all we had. Nathan Drake is Uncharted. Okay, yeah, I was getting names fucked up. I tend to do that. Names are, it's just too many names with same either backgrounds of stuff. Tim Drake. It was Tim Drake, not Nathan. So it wasn't a Damian skin? I thought it was a skin that was like, that resembled him or some shit on that game. Well, whatever. So we had Red Hood, we had Tim, Nightwing, and Batgirl. Fuck. So we didn't even get Damian. Never the fuck mind. So yeah, we had Tim. Tim was pretty fucking good too. I never actually got to play Tim, so I don't remember everything he did. But I know he had he basically was the ninja of the team. He was like the better ninja. He had the smoke bombs. He had like the Oni power. He was the real ninja of the goddamn team. But this is the same thing I'm talking about though. When you have potential in a game that is so beautiful, like it was basically a remake of Arkham. Like, anyone who played Batman Arkham knows what kind of fighting that was on that game. That game had fluent fighting on it, but for some reason, this game, they made it stiff in so many ways that you feel like while you're pressing a button, you're just not pressing it. You get stuck. you're doing a combo and then the combo would just stop mid-attack, and then you pressing abilities and abilities wouldn't work. Going back to Red Hood, one of his main abilities that still bugged to this goddamn day that pisses me off, if he throws down his turret and it just so happens to not, like, I don't even know how to explain it. If you throw down a turret, which you're supposed to be able to throw anywhere, you throw it down and sometimes the turret would just not work. It would just not shoot. It would just fizzle out, basically. And it still costs you your 2 fucking bars of power. Or dodging at the right time, you still get... Exactly. Dodging, there was fucking enemy tracking. Like, they would still catch you with some hits. Even though you get the indicator that you're dodging. And then you still get fucking hit. And then the biggest thing for me that pissed me off the most is execution. Why the fuck would you put execution in a game, which is basically a whole fucking... It's a whole AMV. Some of these executions is a whole AMV. But you're putting it in the game and you still can get hit. You're not invincible during your execution. So if you're fighting a boss and multiple enemies at the same time and the goddamn motherfucking shit pops up on you, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? You're in animation right now. You're stuck in a goddamn AMV doing a goddamn combo and execution on an enemy, but you're getting hit by everybody around you. So literally at the end of your fucking execution, what happens? You're just dead. And now you gotta wait to get saved by your teammates. They couldn't wait to hit you. Bro, it was so crazy. It was so fucking crazy. I hated it. I hated it so fucking much. I couldn't understand why it was like that. Why would you put these long-ass executions just to get shot? Like, you had enemies that literally shoot the shit out of you. Like, they had chain guns, ice beams, all that crazy jazz. So they just run up and punch the shit out of you. Or they're throwing Molotovs at you. No heal ups for after ain't no healing off the execution. Yes. What the fuck? Like, you're not only do we get to get hit by the fucking execution, we can't heal from it? And that's okay? That was okay? No, not at all. That was absolutely horrible. Tragic, if you must so. It was a tragic situation and it ruined the goddamn game for me. But we still played it. We got to enjoy it. We played it enough to the point where it was like worth it. And I don't think we need the trailer for this game. We don't need to look at the trailer for this game because the game it was self-explanatory. Everybody knows what Gotham Knights is. I know it can't be a single person who hasn't seen this game. So I'm not gonna post the trailer for it. And in any case, and then what did we get for DLC, right? We got what? Wait, what? Was that whole Starro thing even considered DLC? Was that DLC or was that just like another part of the game? I can't remember. Like, that wasn't considered DLC, right? Like, if I remember correct, I don't think it was considered DLC. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But either way, it was like a tower. Generally playing that goddamn game, if it was DLC, then it was DLC. But if it wasn't, basically there was another mode after you basically complete the game where you're climbing the tower. The Tower of God. The tower's DLC, not exactly. So it's not DLC, or it was whatever. It was something extra they added to the goddamn game. More like a challenge mode. Right. So yeah, you climb this tower to go up all the way up to fight a boss of some sort, or you gotta fight bosses you previously fought already in the main game, and then it's just like, oh, yay, this is amazing. No. It really wasn't. It just was a repetitive climb the tower, fight the same type of enemies. They'll be a little bit harder. They'll have more broken mechanics. They'll have crazier elements. And then you're just getting stronger while doing it. Like, you get powered up. Starro, shake my head. Big ass starfish, yo. But yes, that's Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights obviously has potential only because it's a DC game. Any DC/Marvel game is supposed to have almost infinite potential because of everything that they own. everything that they have, the fucking amount of money that they can put into games. They have almost infinite potential to be good because it's just like you can put almost anything from your universe into it and the game would continue. But they always limit it and ruin the game, or they just don't do something they could be doing. So did the game have potential? Yes. Was it the greatest game? No. Was it the worst game? Also no. You got stronger, but so did the enemies, and whatever elements you got, the enemy countered. Yep. Yeah, it's like it was bullshit. Anyway, next game. Now, prior to what I said earlier about a game that basically had multiple games, etc., like Gears of War, or something else. This game, I would say, while this game is like far in its series, this is like almost end of its series so far previously, right? But there was something so bad about this game. The hype for it was so strong that anyone who played it instantly almost wanted to unalive the developers. They wanted the developers to they got so much bad talk to them for this game, and it was very simple as to why it happened. Because let me just show y'all what game I'm talking about. Boom. This game specifically had a monster sum of potential. Dynasty Warriors 9. The entire series of Dynasty Warriors is fucking amazing, right? Like, we know what kind of game we were getting into. They know no matter what kind of game they make, their fans are gonna buy them no matter what. They knew what it was when they first started making games. But this shit, anyone who has ever played a fucking Warriors games knows for a fucking 100% reason why. I am mad. I am livid. I want to end heads before this game. We was given probably the greatest level of shit talkery for this game. We were told we just got a Warriors game that was open world. We got an open world Warriors game. Did you know what that means for the entire franchise? Because knowing what we loved about the game, we always love the fight that you're fighting armies. You're killing off armies with your favorite character. There's create a character situations. There was always this amazing thing to it, but it was always a small map. We always had like a map that we could just finish off, etc., etc. We were scripted to being in one specific area. But then we was given this thought. Oh my god, it's open world. It was open world, guys. So what did that mean for us? That meant everything. The fact that it was supposed to be open world meant that we can do some crazy things. We were given the opportunity to travel and kill armies in different locations. We were given that they own literal locations that we can invade and take over for ourselves. And then you fucking play the game. You play the game and think, okay, maybe, hold up. Maybe it would be fine. I just want y'all to realize when this game released. This game was released in 2018. This is right before COVID, etc. But do y'all understand this day and age? This game here, like, it was released at a time frame where games actually still looked good. They made previous Dynasty Warriors games that looked good. How about we check out a trailer for this game, guys? Let's look at a trailer for this. Now, more than likely the trailer is going to be all cinematic. For good reason, though, because they know they fucked up. They fucked up bad, too. Oh, no, never mind. They're actually showing the game. All right, so we're all going to get to see it. Now, a game made in 2018, open world, right, in a Dynasty Warriors game. Hold up. Can we, yeah, looking at 360 is crazy, guys. All right, look at that. I turned it to its highest quality, 1080. Does the game look any better? Did the game look any better? Turn the quality up to 1080, and this is all in-game. This is exactly what in-game looks like. Does it look any better, guys? I turned it to the highest setting that it can from 360. Do y'all understand what the problem with this game is, yo? And this is not even its only problem. It gets worse. When you're actually playing the game, not only are you stiff as hell, right? But there are enemies that are invisible because they're not rendered. Some enemies will not render in. So when you're going to do a mission to go after an enemy, you can't find them because they're there but not there the entire time. They're not going to hit you. Most of the time they don't hit you, but they can. They can potentially hit you. So not only will enemies not render, you have these other missions you can do called hunting missions, where you can go hunt down certain animals like tigers, bears, birds, wolves. You can hunt down the alpha versions of them and tame them for yourself, right? But you go to these areas, and next thing you know, you're looking at this almost disgustingly pixelated animal that's walking in such a straight line. And it's walking in a straight line, but it's not walking forward in a straight line. It walks sideways. The animal is walking sideways in a straight line, and it is the most confusing looking, horrendous shit that you can ever see in a game. But this game was made in 2018. Meaning they had the power. They had the power to actually make a decent game and refused to do so. They made this shit absolutely shit. This game was absolute shit. So much about it that it couldn't work. I was so mad. Being a fan of everything Warriors, Samurai Warriors, Dynasty Warriors, I hated this game with so much passion. And then they had the nerve to make a Empire's version of it. Like, did you think that was going to change anything? Do y'all really think that that was okay? We already played the game. We already knew what the fuck happened. And y'all thought making an Empire's version of it was gonna make a difference? Let me see. Is this only like? What do you even? How do you even fix what I did at this point? Like, what do you do? Is this going to be just purely a cinematic trailer? Making another trailer for the same game is also crazy. I just want to point out. Nah, look at it. It still looks the same. It still looks the same. Like, look how bad this is. This is the 9th game in their series. This is the 9th iteration of Dynasty Warriors. It was made in 2018. The game had potential to grow the fuck up. That is the best way to put that. It had potential to grow the fuck up. And what did they do? They made a copy of basically Dynasty Warriors 1. This is like a copy of the original goddamn game. Just fucking on a better console. What made it terrible is that every fucking weapon fought the same way. You get a different super, but the attacks look the same. The game felt the same. And don't even get me started on what the horses were like. Don't even get me started on what the horses were like. You don't even want to know. Y'all don't even want to fucking know what the horses was like. Being on a horse on this game, you felt better running on feet. You felt better running on feet, and you had to travel distances because this was, in fact, an open world game. It was, in fact, a very open world game, but you would rather run on your fucking feet than get on their horses. Because them horses, not only were they slow, they were stupid, they ran ugly. It wasn't worth it. And then the fighting on the horses just was even worse. Like you had an option of even shooting a bow while being on the horse, and you would just look so dumb. You look so dumb. Like I don't even want to even talk about this game anymore because of how fucking bad it was. It gives me the ick. That's how fucking horrendous it was. So, in that we had the game had potential. This game had potential, and it fucking failed imminently, like just gravely. Next game though. This game is brand fucking new. This game just came out like literally technically like the end of last year. It just came out somewhere around the end of last year. And I say it had potential because of previous games that was created. What had transpired though when they made this game, given we saw trailers, we've seen things that should have given us intel on the game, but we also had hope that the game wasn't going to be exactly as dog shit as it's turning out to be. I present to you guys Dragon Age: The Veilguard. When I tell you a game had fucking potential. When I tell you a game actually had potential to be like damn near like a constant played game. Yes, big just big fucking like, bro, when I'm like so mad because how did we go from Inquisition being a massively beautiful version of Dragon Age? Inquisition was crazy good. It had strategy to it. It had playability. And then we were even given multiplayer in a different mode, but it still was multiplayer nonetheless. We had everything. And then it still also had an aspect of open world to it that made the game like, yes, Inquisition was a masterpiece, yes. The game had so much goodness to it. It had enemies, and the enemies actually looked good. And other crazy thing, but the game wasn't easy. The game was not an easy game. Whether or not you changed the difficulty from normal, hard, easy, etc., it still was not an easy game. Because enemies on the game had specific levels. Certain enemies had their own levels. So you still had to level up in the game. You had to play it to be strong enough to deal with enemies. And then the dragon fights. The dragon fights were all a different type of dragon. Given dragons have their own scriptedness to them, like, oh yeah, tail whip, stomp, lightning, but they had differences to them as well. It wasn't just that. Like, they had different, like, ways of attacking. And then the way you had to fight them, you would have to literally build your entire team to fight them properly. Did I mention a team, though? You actually can utilize your team. You can play every character on your team. You wasn't scripted to play your only main character. And that's Inquisition, though. But we're not talking about it for Inquisition, right? We're talking about the game that was the sequel to Inquisition. We're talking about the game that came out afterwards that was supposed to succeed Inquisition and be better than it. What the fuck did we get, though, right? We got a game that you only get to play your main character. Given you do get to create your character. You create your main character, yes. But the options are fucking trash. The options were fucking trash. Your character looks fucking hideous. No matter what you do to them, they still fucking very much look hideous. And then it's the simple fact of the matter is, like, you're so limited. They took away the whole open world aspect of the game. They took away the creativity. They took away the strategy. They try so hard to implicate that, yeah, you need strategy to do this and that because you want your team to attack this creature while you're fighting. No, the fuck you don't. When you play the game, you realize, as my team, they're gonna do whatever they want because, one, they can't die. They can't die. They're barely useful unless you're fucking using them as an ability of some sort. And then the combos are so limited. Yo, and then they also did, in fact, apply wokeness. They applied this day and age to the game too, which they didn't need to. Games do not need to have a level of woke to them. They do not need to have LGBTQ. They do not need to have any of the things that games in this day and age seem to be fucking progressively getting. You don't need those stuff in a game to make it good. I just want y'all to understand that. There's never been a time in a back in the day game where they showed any, like, for instance, gay scenes. And it was a problem or something of that nature. If you wanted it to happen in the game before, then it happened. But it wasn't like it was the basis of the game. It wasn't like the only thing that had to happen no matter what. It wasn't forced on you. In this game, these type of situations are forced on you. There's no turning back on what they make you do in this shit. This game honestly was so bad. I couldn't play. I couldn't play it. I actually played only like total of 15 hours of it. We have magic in the game. We didn't need scars. What? And then the other it's just and then they changed with the enemies that we are used to. They changed the pride demon. They changed the sloth demon. They changed how the darkspawn look. They changed so much about the game. It's just not Dragon Age anymore. Surgery scars for the woman turned men. Yeah, there's that. Yeah. I understand. I get completely what you're saying. Yeah, none of this isn't needed in games. Or better yet, it's not even that you don't. You can have it in the games because people want these type of things, but it shouldn't ever be forced on you. These type of situations should not have been forced, and that's what ruins games in this day and age. But this game, just be a guy and say you magically transform. Boom. Like they do that in other games. It's called polymorph. Polymorph is a literal thing. Like, did y'all never play Baldur's Gate? You can literally change in anything you want. You can do whatever you want in that game. And that is why Baldur's Gate was damn near the game of the year. If it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it was. Baldur's Gate took every bit of... You know, stop talking about Baldur's Gate. We're talking about Dragon Age Felguard right now. I'm just so disheartened by this game. I've only played about 15 hours or 11 hours of it, and it still doesn't make me want to come back. I've never felt so bad about a Dragon Age game ever. Even the PS2 one was way better. And that's saying a lot. Like, given the fighting of the game is pretty okay. The fighting is okay, but it's not the greatest. Like, you still feel stiff at certain points. Given you actually have movement. You do have movement. You can dodge. You can combo. You can do all sorts of things. But the level up system is trash. The characters is trash. It was just not worth it. Baldur's Gate 3 had woke to it, but it wasn't forced besides Gale. Yeah. Yeah. And even with Gale, you're still not even forced to have Gale with you. Like, they make it so you can even make Gale be disappeared right from the beginning of the game. You don't need him. You don't need nothing. Dragon Age Veilguard, guys. Dragon Age Veilguard. Let's, we might as well look at it because it's just like, this is where the potential comes in. You watch the official launch trailer, and this is where the potential of the game comes in.
Events are weaving together quickly. The fate of the world shall be decided soon.
So those things we saw come out of the Fade.
Two ancient elven gods. They were horrific tyrants. The worst is still coming.
Now, do you guys see this? Look at this nice little cinematic. We got the story. We have story and everything. All the nice implications that this game should be fun.
Shut it down.
I'm trying.
The dead stir more easily than they should.
You left it. I mean, look at the dragons. The dragons are nice looking and such. You do get to still fight dragons in this game too. You get your nice little bowers and everything. Look at this character though. Like, I wouldn't even be that mad about how this character looks. Like, that's a created character for one, right? But what's good with that hairstyle? That hairstyle was hideous. I just want y'all to know.
You're the only force that can stop this.
Bro looks like Aladdin. Aladdin meets fucking I don't even know. Who do I even put in that category? It's just hilarious.
It will not be easy. But you are this world's only hope.
But you guys seeing this, right? True, you can cut. So y'all seeing this, like this trailer, right? Doesn't it? It makes you want to play it, right? Because it had the small parts that actually showed like actual gameplay, and then most of it was cinematic. But it's just like, yes, the game looks like it's gonna be fun. It looks like we're getting what we want in a Dragon Age game, and then we just don't. We didn't get it. We got stuff. We got stuff. I needed some water. So we got stuff in the game. We didn't get what we needed. The game had potential to be great, but there's something off about it. There's something extremely off about it. I would say if you didn't play other Dragon Age games, then this game would probably be fun to you. If you have never played any of the other Dragon Age games, this game would probably be fun. And that's where the potential is, right? The potential is good for people who have not touched any of the other Dragon Ages. So, yeah. Cool. Beautiful. Love it. Move on, I guess, right? All we can say is move on. And that's what we're going to do. Let's move on. I just looked at the list, guys, and oh, y'all are gonna love this one. Y'all gonna love this game that had potential to continue being decently good and then just fucking died almost its first week. Boom. Overwatch 2, not Overwatch 1, but Overwatch 2. When I tell you a game has potential to be amazing, because everyone has played Overwatch 1, we knew what was to come. We knew that another game of it would be basically the same game. So there's like, we already know what we're getting into. But the fact of the matter is, it's Overwatch 2, right? So you're expected maybe to get some new stuff. You're expected to get things that were not originally in the original game. You're expected to enjoy new features, new characters, new ways of fighting, maybe a new story. Oh my god. Just got off the phone and this one pissed me the fuck off. Hope it died. Overwatch 2 is going to die. I'm pretty sure Overwatch 2 is basically dead. Marvel Rivals has kicked it off the face of the earth at this point. Now, let's look at all the situations that ruined Overwatch 2, right? First of all, potential. Let's look at the potential first. The potential of Overwatch 2 was that we got to play Overwatch. We're going to get new characters. We're going to get new fighting styles. We're going to get probably new classes. We're going to get new stuff, right? That's the potential that Overwatch 2 possessed. We're getting nothing but new shit that's going to make the game enhance to a different level. And the life of this Blizzard told us the biggest lie game. Alright. That's where the potential in Overwatch 2 came in, right? But this is where it dragged off. For one, Overwatch 2, you're buying another game. You're buying another game. It's not free. Like, it's not like you're just or wait. No. The game originally is free. Overwatch 2, free game. It was free. But you still feel like you're buying a new game, right? Because you had to rebuy all your characters. Yeah, the game was free, but you had to buy your characters. You had to buy your characters back. All the characters from Overwatch 1 that you already had, all the skins, all that other shit, and everything that you had that was supposed to carry over. Nope. None of it, right? You have to rebuy all your characters back. And they weren't even all in the game yet. All the characters from Overwatch 1 was not even in Overwatch 2 yet. You had to rebuy them. You have to rebuy the skins. Well, no. Eventually, they started giving... I think they gave some of your skins back if you, somewhat have them. I think. I can't really remember. Pretty sure you got some of the stuff back that you had. But the problem here is that you just made us rebuy our characters. But y'all gave us the new ones, though. Y'all gave us the new characters that was going to be in the game. But y'all made us buy the old ones? What kind of bullshit was this? And then the fact of the matter is, the game didn't change at all. The game didn't change. It was still literally the same game entirely. We didn't really get much that was new. There wasn't a lot of new stuff added to the game except characters. But the game still played exactly the same. It still acted the same. We just had to buy everything back. So it's just like, what the fuck was the point of making the statement of this being Overwatch 2? And then some characters, yes, you still did have to buy it through the Battle Pass too. That's another thing by itself. So like I'm saying, like, what was the point though? What was the whole point of us even getting the game? Because it shouldn't have even been called Overwatch 2. It should have just been a new patch. DLC. Something of that nature. Why would it be a completely new game? What about it made it deserve the title of, this is going to be the next Overwatch? Absolutely dumb. It's so dumb. And now I feel like we might as well see a trailer, right? We might as well see the trailer to it so you can understand why we fucking felt like it had potential. Because this is what we're here for, right? We're here to see the games that had a level of potential that should have been great, and then it turned out to be absolute dog shit.
The Overwatch I joined was about raising the world up.
They can give the people hope again.
Like, look at it, guys. Look at that. Look at it. Look, we're getting. We're getting some wonderful things here. New characters and all that good shit.
Give me back my knife.
I'm pretty sure no one has ever done that actually in the game since playing it. I love how they say 22 maps, but you only feel like you're ever playing on 3.
They don't stand a chance.
I could be pushing something right now.
A new era of Overwatch. Where was it? What was new though? What part of that was a new era of Overwatch when it all looks the same?
Some of the new.
It looked the same to me. It looked exactly the same. The game didn't look like it was anything different. That one skipped too. Oh, screw that game. Overwatch 2.0 is crazy. Yeah, bro, that game, another game that had potential. It had potential to be fairly decent because we already played Overwatch. We knew what we was expecting, and then all we wanted was new shit. But we did not get new shit. We got I spit at you, Atu, Haktu. That's what we got. Considering the fact that it was that bad though, that's why Marvel Rivals came and destroyed it. But we're gonna start speeding up through some of these because we're running on our time. We're running close to our time, people. So we still got a good list here. So let's start moving on. You forgot to mention the biggest flop they had, and which big flop was you? Which one we're talking about? Type faster, hooligan. You're not gonna tell me about a flop. You took too long to write that. They lied about giving us PvE. Oh, yeah, right. They did do that. Motherfucker said they was gonna give us PvE, and then they said, "Fuck it, we're not doing it at all." Oh, so yeah, okay, so you're probably behind. Okay, so you're just behind right now in terms of the video. Okay, makes sense. Anyway, like I said, since we're running low on time, we're gonna start moving on. We're gonna run through some of these games a little bit faster because I want to get through all of them before we run out of time, guys. So let's go right to the next one. This is another new game, and this was the most hyped game for decades. This was one of the most hyped game for decades. When this game got announced, the whole world was ready to be happy about it. And then it came out, and the whole world got disappointed immediately. They was happy probably for the first 2 days. Brother, my friends, my brother and sisters in Christ, this game fucking demolished us. This game has shit no jutsu'd us into fucking believing it was gonna be our greatest comeback. It made everyone believe that this was gonna be such a wonderful fucking game. We thought we was about to get our childhood back, and what the hell did we get? We got a game that they fucking just turned competitive as hell, didn't know how to patch it properly to make it feel like the same game we played, and then they had the nerve to throw a rank system on it. Why would y'all throw a rank system on a game that was a childhood love? And then confuse the game with, like, they didn't do the power scaling correctly at all. Like, how do you tell us in a goddamn a whole interview that every character that's broken is meant to be broken over characters that are weak? And then you got Yajirobis out here smoking everybody. Like, Why would a Yajirobe be able to even hurt certain characters? He shouldn't even be able to damage Super Saiyans at all. Like how the old games used to be, where they could hit you and they'll just basically sit there and you don't get staggered. Yajirobe was able to stagger people. He was hitting niggas like normal combos. And then that's not even all. It should never be a point where certain characters have like just like a whole mechanic to them that makes them overpowered. Like the androids. This whole sequence turned out to be ridiculous. Why would you give certain characters fucking invincibility so they can just sit there, grab you, and keep re-healing off of you, or just doing other dumb shit that you can't stop? Like, I understand. It was Dragon Ball, right? Characters are supposed to have certain things. But then stop giving characters something they didn't have. Or stop making characters do things they shouldn't have. And then the biggest thing is don't put a fucking rank system on a game that's supposed to be fun. Because once you put a rank system on a game, you know what that does to the people in this day and age? It's no longer a game. It's competitive. It's not fun. Nobody is going to enjoy playing it anymore. So everyone that was hyped for this shit for a hot, long fucking time, everyone that waited for this game immediately lost the love and want for it. There's still people that play it. The game is still playing, of course, but they're playing it because they have to almost. They're playing it because they want it to be great. But all the real people that fiend and fan for it, that aren't the ones that are like have to make content on it or fucking super competitive with it, they don't even play it. Because I'm one of them. I was super hyped for this. I loved all the Tenkaichis up to this point. I loved the fucking shit. I played the what's the name? Oh my god. The Budokais. Yes, I played all the Budokais. I played the other Sparking. Like you it's just like, yo, I've played all of these Dragon Ball Z games in hopes that this type of game would come back. Because Tenkaichi 2 was my favorite one. Only because of the transformations you could do with fucking Cell and fucking Majin Buu. Those were like the greatest things that you ever did. And the fusions. Dragon Ball Tenkaichi 2 had the greatest transformation possibilities. But this game came out. We was ready. And it just didn't do what it was promised. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it at all. And now the fact of the matter is they're still balancing this game too. It hurts my soul, guys. It hurts my soul that we had this childhood marvel pop up and we couldn't even fully enjoy it the way it was meant to be enjoyed. Like, it makes me weak for this universe right now. It makes me weak for the gaming industry when you could take a game that was meant to be the greatest game of all time and just say, fuck it. It's like going to the barber and say, fuck my shit up. That's what they did to this game. It's like, yo, make me a game and just fuck it up. Make me the greatest game of all time, but fuck it up. Do it. That's what we want. I didn't even play this game for a full week straight, guys. I couldn't do it. I deleted it probably the second weekend. There was just other things to play. But now, let's like I said, we have to move on. But I just wanted y'all to see this game. Potential. So much potential. Because it's been our life. But we'll stop. Let me stop. This game right here. I'm just gonna write it out straight up. First of all, I don't know why they're saying a number 2. There is no number 2 to this game. Oh wait, no. I think number 2. Yeah, number 2 is the most recent version of it. Yeah, right. Now, I know people have been playing this shit since the first one, clearly. And then there's number 2, which is basically like the absolute upgrade to the first one. Me personally, I felt like this game definitely is a game that had potential to be a really good game. Because I never played number one, but when I first saw this game, I immediately thought of Starship Troopers. And that was like a childhood movie that I absolutely loved. Found out it actually got games that I just don't feel like playing because they're basically PC games. But it's like, this game was the closest thing I got to a Starship Trooper situation. So when I say a game had potential to be amazing, this game was there. Like, it had the whole comedy of everything too. Like, they had like little commercials about your whole planet, your character. It was fucking hilarious. And then the way you fight is funny. Like, you got the guns, you got rockets, you could call down certain things. But then I don't know, for some reason when you start playing it, like, you play with your friends, you first few games you're just like, yo, this is fun. This is enjoyable as hell. And then you play it. After a few hours, you start getting this feeling like, this is not as good as I thought it was. You start getting this like, this is getting boring kind of feeling. Like, even if you're doing different missions, they're not the same ones. You don't got the same thing happening every single time. It just, I don't know what it was. I really can't fathom it, but it's missing something. It's missing that oomph, that want, that feeling. It just dragged. It didn't feel right anymore. And that's just like how it happened. It's just like, a game that had potential. It has great potential to be amazing in its own right, because you're these three soldiers who jump into a. First of all, three people against a whole like planet almost. It's crazy. But yeah, your three main guys just hop in. Your hell divers drop into a place. You get these missions. You destroy shit, kill some bug creatures, and all this good shit, and then you leave. And it just doesn't feel like this is what you really wanted. When you first see the game, you get this feeling like you're about to be a one-man army. You're about to be this soldier of fortune, going around doing remarkable things, destroying the bug army, ending the plague, killing the nest. It felt like, yes, Starship Troopers. We're about to go crazy. And then it just didn't. I got bored so fast. So where the potential was there. The potential was strong. It just didn't last long enough. And for once, it had nothing to do with the devs. It's not like they made the game like bad. It's just something they didn't do. They didn't put something in the game to make it better. And it could just be me, because I know there's still people that touch this game, but all the people I saw that was hyped for this, they already done playing it too. And they're gamers. People play games. We play games all the time. But yeah. So potential? There. Did it stay? No. Next. Oh. Okay, so now we're going to go back a little bit. Because I jumped into games that were basically close to this time frame to get people to understand what we're looking at. Now let's go back. I don't know if how many people know about this game or even played it. And that also speaks to my point. Because this game had monstrous potential because of how much accessibility it had. Anyone who is fans of Final Fantasy type games probably has played this game. And I'm just sitting here like, yeah, this was crazy. This game was dope as shit. Potential, very powerful. Because this is the type of game that literally can last. I will say this game, you can play this for about a whole month. I would say this game you could play for about a whole month before you finally are done with it. And I'm not saying that because it has monstrous playability. No. You can play this game for a whole month because you just want to complete every fucking class. This game has a multitude of classes that you can jump into. But then there are problems with going into these classes too, right? The biggest issue I had, like, while you have all these classes, they all have a base to them, right? And the classes are based on the weapons. So, with the amount of the limited weapons that you have, the classes all fight exactly the same way, depending on what weapon you're using. So if you have like a certain sword, but multiple classes that can use that one sword, they're all still gonna fight with that same one sword. You'll just have like separate abilities, some that are buffs, some that are actual attacks, some that kind of look like a super of some sort, some that even do like mystical things, like support your team. But that was mostly the main issue with the game. It's just that they limited all the classes to basically being the same class. And there are fuck tons of classes. There's trees and everything. And then the simple fact of the matter is this is a Final Fantasy game, so you should know what kind of things that they have. So the nerve of them to put a summoner class in the game of sorts, but did not utilize any of it the way it was supposed to be. It was sad. Very sad. It was really bad. Like you didn't get to enjoy it. And then they didn't put on. There's a couple of classes they didn't put into the game that would have been great, and it would have worked for the game and made it actually more playable. Now, given the game has good story, the story is there, and it had a lot of story, and it will keep you playing it for a while. The game had fun. It's still fun in its own right, but it doesn't have infinite playability. It doesn't have you can always just come back and play it again, the kind of sensibilities. It was fun, and that's all it was. Going through the different classes, fun, and that's all it was. Does it have potential? Did it have potential? It had potential because it's a Final Fantasy game. That was where the potential lied. Final Fantasy has so much shit in it that you can just apply to any game, almost like Marvel or DC. They have an infinite, a numerous amount of things that they could do, and they just don't. They stop. They always stop at a certain point that ruins the whole purpose of the game, and it stresses me out. It's just like, you can't be serious. Don't give me a shit ton of classes. Don't give me almost 20 fucking classes or plus, just so all of them could do the same fucking thing. Wear the same clothes. Act the same way. Yeah, that is what fucked it up for me, basically. And that's what gives the game on this list. That's what puts the game on this list. It had playability. It had potential to be amazing. Like fucking Final Fantasy Online. Because most of the classes that's in this game was on Final Fantasy Online. So that's where most of the potential just lies. It's just like, you gave me classes from a game that has all potential, and it shows it, and you just didn't give me any of it. So now we have to die off, and that shit sucks ass. Like, we're not even gonna talk about how the enemies, like, there's a lot of rinse and repeat enemies. I didn't care about that. It's because the game was fun. The fighting was decently fun, and jumping to all these different classes and trying to get better classes, that's what made it fun. It just, in the end, sucked ass due to a majority of the limited weapons being connected to every class. But I digress. Moving on now. Stranger of Paradise? Potential. It had potential. It just didn't stick. Here's the next game that had potential, and I still want to go back and play it, but so many issues where it is right now because of the devs. Developers ruin games in so many ways because they listen to the wrong player base. This game right here, guys. This game right here. When I tell you this game really did have a potential, like it really did. This game right here was so fun. It's another asymmetrical kind of game, but except it was different because you got 3 killers. This is the first game where you got 3 killers, I think, versus like what was it, 5 survivors? Like that was like scary, right? It's the idea of that is scary. Like what? 3 killers? How the hell are we supposed to survive that? We've played DBD. This is ridiculous. And you're telling us we really don't fight back too much, right? No. But you kind of do. The survivors fight back pretty well. You can slam doors on motherfuckers. You can, I think, hit motherfuckers with shit. And then it's the fact that you got abilities that allow you to do other things. So it's just like, yeah. While the game, in fact, was not, like, what's the word I'm looking for? The game wasn't bad. No, the game's not bad. It's just, like, at the beginning of the game, everything was like, people got to get used to it, right? And then people did get used to it. And the game felt great. It felt, it was like certain characters may have been a little bit more overpowered than others in terms of the survivor. But the thing about this game is that it was play to win. There's no option to just buy this and then you're just the best. You had to play the game to become better. Matchmaking may have not been great because certain people no life the game, right? Would be level 99 while you are just playing the game for the first time in the day. And those people made you seem like you couldn't even do anything. They could do a whole mess load of shit on the map and you would be done. And that's just saying those are the survivors. Because the killers actually feel balanced. Majority of them, none of them actually take you out instantly. Like you can't get one-shotted. You can get fucked up very quick though if you got 2 killers on you and they just on you with good skill, you're cooked. You're fried. You're going down. But the point of the matter is, like, they wasn't overpowered by themselves. And that's where the balancing came in. There are survivors with certain perks that made them extremely strong. I can't remember the name, but one of the chicks had the ability to generally just freely open up a locker or any locked door instantly, which were main strengths of the game. Locked doors is what made you able to actually fight the survivors off from escaping. But given an ability that can just instant pick that shit open, super powerful. And then there was another survivor who can force themselves to not take damage, basically. So generally what they can do is like they'll run towards you and just pop their ability, tank so many hits, and then just escape because you can't stop them. Or they would use that option to jump through the window and then escape because you have to run through a whole obstacle course to get to them. Given, there are always plays. There are outs to all of this. There was. And then the balancing came in. Once the balancing came in and certain characters started getting even more overpowered, the game stopped being fun for the killer's side, which is basically my favorite side. My favorite side was the killer side. Surviving is always fun in some retrospect. You do it if you have to, but the killer side is the fun side. It's enjoyable as hell. It's fun killing people, right? You know the feeling? It's fun killing people in games because it's just like, yo, you don't get to do this in a lot of games. But that game you could. And you could do it in multiple different ways. You could do weird shit to them. You could just take them out and then execute them. Then you, what's the name? Leatherface has his own options that he could utilize. So yeah, game was fun. But this is another one of the games where the devs ruined the potential of the game. Instead of giving it a little bit more time before the balancing, like, I don't know what it is and what time frame they usually try to put the game on before they decide, all right, we need to change some things. It's like, if you would have let it play out for a little bit more time instead of just listening to the whiners all the time, you would have understood that your game was actually balanced. Because the simple fact of the matter is, it's a playability situation. It's a how many people are going to keep playing the game before it becomes bad. It wasn't. The game wasn't going to become bad. It was actually good from the start. You could add characters. You could make more characters and make them do different shit, but you didn't need to start buffing certain characters. You didn't need to start nerfing certain characters. Because once you do that, it makes the perks that you're running, you have to change them. It makes you have to fucking play different. Which, in certain aspects, yes, that's a good thing, right? But if the game is working the way it is, we don't want to have to play different in a bad way. Because playing different in a bad way means now you're most likely camping something, or you're playing in a certain way that's going to be like, oh, of course they're going to do that. We don't want to play like that. We want to play like a way so we can have fun. And the game at the start had that, and the potential was there. And now the potential is lost because devs went and created some horrendous updates, and now the game is basically like dead. I don't know if anyone even plays it anymore. I don't even know if you have enough people to even play it anymore. But as I said, I digress. Moving on to the next game, because we are running low. Jesus. Alright, we're going to start speed running a couple of these. Because, I actually have a heavy list. I didn't realize how much of this list I got to, but I want to get through all of them. So, next game. Evil Dead, guys. Evil Dead, the game. This game was so good. I love this game. Again, I'm always killer sided. I wanted to play the killer side. And it's because of how it was. Like, yo, the different killers you could be, the different ways to play, the different things you can do. It was so freaking dope. And then it's like a whole fear thing. And then it's like you gotta stop the survivors from freaking doing certain objectives. That was so fun. And then this is another situation where the fucking devs ruined it. I used to play a certain killer that was basically like, they're like alien looking creatures that had the power of lightning. There was a certain elite one, right? That had an ability where you cast the lightning, but you could cancel the attack to make the lightning strike immediately. And then you also get to, you multiply. This certain killer can also multiply. So you make multiples of the enemy, and then you got a bunch of AI versions of yourself that run out and can do the same thing you could do. And if you build the character correctly, like now, you understand that you had to play the game to level up, and then you had to fucking put perks in certain directions. It's not like you could just have all of it. You had to perk your character out correctly to make them do certain things. And I was a master at that. I made sure I made it so my elite was my strongest minion. Like all my other minions instantly get fucked up, instantly die. Like even my main boss was weak compared to my elite. I put all my perks into my elite to make his lightning damage ridiculous, his health ridiculous, his tankiness and damage ridiculous. And for some reason, I guess, the devs found what I had done, right? They found that you can do this in the game. I felt targeted because this nerf was only for my character. I felt targeted. Maybe I shouldn't have made a video on it. Maybe that's what the problem was. Maybe it got out. Maybe people seen it. But I felt extremely targeted after I made that video. Because it showed that I can have an infinite amount of fucking demons. I had an infinite amount of elite demons on the map, and they all can insta-shoot lightning as long as I was close to them. And I would take out the survivors very fast. Any one of them was by themselves, they were dead instantly, no matter what. This game had monsters of potential until the devs decided they're gonna not only nerf the shit out of a lot of the damn demons, but they buffed the survivors so drastically. They didn't even need to. Because the survivors get invulnerability frames on an execution. They have abilities. They are grouped up. And all that. Yep. Devs ruined it. Game had beautiful potential. We gotta move on, though. We gotta move on. Stress. So much stress. I love that game. Here's a game that actually never got off its feet properly. Because they refused to do the one thing they said they was gonna do. This game right here, a lot of people don't even know what this is. And it's only because they never let the game get well known. This game right here is called Last Year. And I gotta say, based on the playing of it, the gameplay of this game right here, it would have been amazing if it ever got brought to console. This game had probably the best versions of killers you could have. Like, you had a slasher, you had, like, this other, like, you just had these weird-ass monsters. There was only 4. Because of the games didn't make it far, they only managed to make 4 killers total. One of them being that big-ass spider that you're looking at on the screen. Yes, all the arachnophobia, deal with it. This game had such potential, and it just never made it off its feet because the devs promised that it would possibly come to console, and they never did it. Do people not understand that PC does not make up your money base anymore? Majority of people are on consoles now. PC does not make up the main majority of money. Come to console and you will get your money worth that you need to keep your game playing. You'll get your fan base. You'll get all of that. And if you don't, it's because you fucked something else up. Again, game had potential. Anybody who wants to look at this game, you literally should go watch videos on this game and see it. This game had so much potential. It is called Last Year. Go and find literal videos of this game, and you will be mad as me in understanding how broken this game was and how wonderful it could have been on console. Let's go. Moving on again. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Look at this, guys. Look at this. I feel like some people played this, some people didn't. This game is called Wild Hearts. This was basically I would say the Japanese or the animated version or anime version of Monster Hunter. This was the Monster Hunter that people just made elsewhere. It had different mechanics though. It was fun mechanics. It's a strange Monster Hunter game because you get like this mechanic to not only did you have the hold on, how do I want to break this down? Let's break it down slowly to show. You kill monsters. You also can build your own base where you have to eat and such. And like you have to fucking do certain things. You have like a tent. You have a workspace. You have to fucking dry the fur or whatever the hell the monsters drop. And then you're building things too. You had to build towers. You could build these giant fucking ballistas that would shoot like a wire that you could use for grapple purposes to get around maps. You can build certain things that let you fight the monsters. Like this game, when it comes to games that had potential and just failed, this is it. This is a game that had potential and then just died. And it died only because of bugs. It died because of the bugs of the game, the lag of the game, the resolutions of the game. Like, it was just so many things about the game that was so fucked up. The renderings and all of that. So it didn't die because the game was bad. It died because the game couldn't function. If the devs ever put some time into it to actually get the game to function, then it probably would have kept being played. But I know even now to this day, people don't even know what the hell this is. Because it didn't get off its fucking feet. It didn't get to have its wings blown the fuck out. And it's sad because it was fun. It was very fun. Look that game up too. You'll probably believe me and understand. If you're a Monster Hunter fan, you definitely should check out Wild Hearts. It was fun. You could probably still play it with your friends too, if anything. Because I don't think they closed the servers of it. Here's the next game though. Temtem. Any Pokemon fan out here needed a goddamn game other than Pokemon to play, and it's on console, right? Any Pokemon fans out here that wanted to play a game that's not Pokemon, Temtem was a beautiful game for that. You got every aspect of Pokemon put into it, minus the one thing, the stupidity of what Pokemon is now. The stupidity of Pokemon, they had gotten so uncreative at creating creatures, is that it's not worth playing anymore. It's not worth enjoyment. Pokemon is not Pokemon anymore. They started making things that don't even make sense. But we're not going to talk about that. Temtem, not Pokemon. That's what they are. Temtem are not Pokemon, and they were amazing. This game was amazing. It had so much fucking playability. Like, I couldn't get off this shit when I first started it. And then you can play cooperative with your friends. While Pokemon just created an option to play with your friends, and the only way you could do it is in raid battles, trash. Kill yourselves. You're garbage. This game, you can actually run around with your friends. You can battle with your friends. Each of you get 3 Temtem on one team, and y'all go around and take on enemies. And you try to tell me that that wasn't fun? And then the craziest part about this game is it has a Souls aspect to it. Because the game's not easy at all. You would think like, yeah, it's a Pokemon game, so to start and fight, you're going to be able to just mop the floor with your first battle, right? Nope. The first battle you play, majority of people who start off this game have lost. The first battle, majority of people lost. And it's not because they were bad. Nah, it's not because their Temtem was bad. Nope. It's because you really have to use your fucking brain in this game. It's not easy. You probably have to heal more times than you can count in this game. Almost after every battle, you need to go heal yourself again. That's how Temtem was. Super fun, super amazing looking Temtem. It was a great game. If you haven't played it, you should go play it. It's very enjoyable. Let's move on again, though. Oh my god. When I tell ya, this game, it deserved more time, sadly. Because there's so much I could say about this game that we're going to have to cut very short. But, oh my god. Guys. Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 probably had the literal and most highest amount of fucking potential that any game has ever had. Only because it took them 13 fucking years to make its third game. Or was it 10 years? I can't remember. I feel like it's 13 because that number stuck to my head. But either it took a decade. Nonetheless, they had a whole fucking decade to make this game great. And what the fuck did we get? We probably got the shittiest version of any Kingdom Hearts game. Like, it was so fucking, it was not good. First of all, how do you take out Final Fantasy characters? How do you decide not to put any Final Fantasy characters in the Kingdom Hearts game? They've been there from the start. How do we not get any of them at that? We don't get none? Are you crazy? They made Kingdom Hearts. The whole game looks like a Final Fantasy game. And then the fucking fact of the matter is, this game is not even difficult. You literally have to put the game on proud mode or the other hardest difficulty for it to even feel difficult, because of one reason. You have the festival power, right? There's this one new ability where it allows you to generally go on a carnival of all different sorts. You're probably on a roller coaster. You're probably on a merry-go-round. You're probably on bumper cars. You use this ability so consistently, and it's just like you're invulnerable the entire time you're using it, and it just does so much damage. It got so bad in the game of this fucking thing that you have to literally take it off. You want to take it off because of how broken it is and how boring it is when it pops up. Because it's like you're fighting the enemy, you want to use something else like your master form, but that shit pops up instead. And you're just sitting there like, oh, great. Why the fuck did that happen? I wanted to go master form. I wanted to release my fucking other powers and just decimate the enemy. But no, the carnival popped up. Oops. Great. You want to take it off, and sometimes you don't. You don't want to take it off because it's a very strong mechanic for winning fights. But you want to take it off because then it ruins off the rest of your gameplay. Then the rest of the game it felt like it felt rushed. Like you played through a lot of the different worlds, and a lot of them aren't fun. You get lucky enough that some are fun. Like the Tangled world, that shit was fun. Probably because of the dance part of that was pretty damn fun to me. I enjoyed that. The boss actually was a nice boss in there too. Big Hero 6. That world was fun. Super fun. Toy Story. Fun. Definitely fun. The Monsters Inc. one, didn't care about it. They didn't have Lion King in it either. They didn't... Oh, the Little Mermaid part was honestly boring as hell. Pirates of the Caribbean part, boring as hell. Like I said, I have a lot I could say about this game, but we don't have time. We don't have time if we didn't want to get through everything. But yes, Kingdom Hearts 3, guys. As far as any of the Kingdom Hearts goes, I don't even recommend you buy it. If you haven't played it, I wouldn't recommend it. It's not worth it. Just go play 2. Way better. Shit, at this point, I'd rather play Birth by Sleep, and that game is trash. Anyway, Kingdom Hearts 3. Best potential ever because it had 10 years to make it potentially the greatest game. And what we got? Nothing. Guys, let's move on, right? Our next game, I don't know how many people actually heard about it or even played it. But this game is called Space Lords. When I say a sort of indie game, right? A sort of indie game had potential. Space Lords had some fun fucking potential. Because all the characters were, like, interesting. We had super interesting characters. The playstyle was different. Like, it's a complete... It's a fighting... It's... How do you even place it? Like, it's a type of game, right, where you're playing the campaigns or some sort. Or you're doing a mission with your friends. Next thing you know, someone invades your game as an invader. They invade your game. This is an actual player. They're invading your game, trying to stop you from doing your campaign. And it's like, it's fun, right? It could be fun. Sometimes it could be fun. Unless you're playing against somebody who just so happens to sadly be a pay-to-win god, or they played the game so long that they have shit that you don't have. That's where the problem comes in. Some people have characters that are so much more broken than the other characters. And when I say they're so much more broken, meaning you can't actually fight against them. Like, there are certain characters that had abilities where normally you'll be able to win by just hitting them with a combo or a two-piece or shooting them to win, right? They completely just say no to that. They say no to your punching. Because if you try to hit them, they decide to just put something on, like they explode on you, or they got some other mechanic that just kills you. The game was still fun. All the characters were fun, the missions were fun, and playing with your friends just makes it even better. So this being a game that had potential, absolutely. Amazing potential. If it's still a thing, if it's still a game that's played today, I recommend it. Check it out. Because in the early stages, you might actually enjoy it. But as soon as your MMR reaches too high, get off of it immediately. MMR is what makes the game bad. Oh, as far as fucking indie games go, this was the greatest of indie games. The greatest fighting game at that, too. This game utilizes legitimate fighting styles that are real to the world. Like, real fighting styles, guys. Like Drunken Fist. Like Wing Chun. Karate. This game had legitimate fighting styles that would have you sitting on your ass like, yo, this is wild. And then your fucking combos. You're running into players and you have to fight them. There was missions. Now, as far as potential goes, amazing, immaculate, absolute potential. How long is the game though, right? You could probably beat this game in less than 3 hours. That's exactly how much. That's where the potential lies. That's where it ended. If you wanted to fucking play the game for the story, you don't play it for the story. You play it so you can fight your friends. You play it so you can fight random people. You do not play this game for the story. You do not play it for its missions. Because the game has no time frame on it. It did not get off its feet. It got probably one DLC, and that was it. The game didn't go anywhere. But, did it have the potential to? Absolutely. If the game is still out, which I believe it is, definitely play it. Definitely give this game a play. It is one of the most fun games I've ever played. It's amazing. Shit. How many we got? Yikes. We still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we got 8 more games to look at, guys. We got 8 more games. Bear with me. Here we go. This game right here. This may be a biased opinion, right? Biased opinion for me. But Maneater was an amazingly fun game. When it came out, I literally played it on the first day of release. I played it for 11 hours and change straight. I could not get off of it. Potential was crazy. Like you start off as a little ass shark. You evolve, you get stronger, you get new abilities, you take on the craziest enemies in the water and out of the water. You take on bounty hunters, you do all of this. You get to just kill people because you want to. You search loot. You do so much as a massive megalodon, and it's just fun. It was so fun. But that's where the potential ends, right? It's where the potential ended. The game, as I said, I played for 11 hours straight. Now, I finished the game. And I didn't finish it only as in I beat the story. No. I completed literally everything. In the terms of playing on PlayStation, I platinumed the game in the same day that I started playing it. Which you normally don't do on games. You normally can't platinum a game in the same day you start playing it. But you can on that game if you consistently play it the way I did. Potential, definitely there. Game came out with DLC. I played that, completely beat it, and platinumed that too. The DLC was fun. Everything about the game is super fun. The potential is there. The only problem is that they stopped. I guess they didn't know how to make more of it. Hopefully it gets a sequel. If it gets a sequel, I'm definitely going to play that too. But Maneater, it had more that you could have done for it. Because it's an infinite amount of sea that we have here that we don't know nothing about. The game could have progressed. We could have gotten more cities. We could have done a lot more stuff. So, yes, Maneater, potential was there. It didn't get it, though, sadly. Oh yeah, here we go again with another asymmetrical game that I feel like had monstrous potential. Hold up. Was it number 2? All right. This game right here, White Noise 2. It's probably one of the most terrifying games ever, right? From the pictures alone, you probably understand why this game is terrifying. Because you're these few survivors, right? You're these few survivors who have a task. You have tasks to do. Your task is to banish the demon, right? You have to banish whatever demon is here to end your life. The only problem is, it's pitch black. The game is pitch black. You're given flashlights. You're given little whatever them damn candlesticks. You're given the candles. I think it's called a candlestick. I can't remember. The things that you crack and then it lights up and you throw it. You're given those. You're given flashbangs. You're given a whole bunch of different ways of presenting yourself light. And the light is what hurts the creature. But the game is still terrifying. It's pitch black. You're dealing with a monster, and the monster is an actual player. So that is where the serious scary shit comes in, because some of these killers are terrifying. My favorite killer is known as Subject 21. What this killer can do is he can multiply, make clones of himself. The clones do not attack, but they can stand in place, stare at you. And since your character has this thing called fear, if you walk towards the freaking thing, it will increase your fear meter. So the fact that I have multiples of these things just standing around staring at you, you don't know which one is me. I could be standing there and you won't even know it. Because not only does Subject 21 have this ability where he's immune to light if he stands still, he can also make it so he can switch places with his clones. So, when you're walking around and you're looking at the clone, you shine the light on it, which normally would banish the demon. This is how you don't know whether or not if that is the demon or not. Because you shine the light on him, it doesn't disappear. So you're like, okay, that must be the clone, right? The moment you turn around, I'm on you. I grab you and you're instantly you're put into a fear state until I get sent away again to do it again. So the point is, the fear is there. You're constantly having to deal with the fact that you're being watched by this goddamn demon, and you never know if it's actually him or if it's just a clone and he's coming around the corner to get you. Game was so fun. There's other demons too, and they all have their own abilities. Survivors have their own skills and such too. It was such a great game. If you ever get the chance, I would love to play that game with a lot of people. If anyone ever wants to play this, just comment and let me know, because I would literally re-download it and play it any day of the year. I love this game. Moving on. This game's gonna have a lot of controversy around it. And I'm gonna stick by what I'm thinking. But Dragon Ball Kakarot, or Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, this game, in my opinion, it had a lot of potential to actually be a great Dragon Ball Z game. But it did the same thing that a lot of these Dragon Ball Z games do that made it fucking flop. It rinsed and repeated. It continued to make the same fucking story, the same kind of game. When we got to play as other characters was probably the most fun part about it. But whenever we play as Goku, we're just literally doing the same thing we've already done in every single Dragon Ball Z game we ever played. We fighting the same enemies. I think they had made it up to Super. But the simple case scenario is, bro, what happened to everything else? Why didn't we get to fight Goku Black? Why didn't we at least make it even further to the Tournament of Power? Like, this game had potential to have a very far, story to it. Like, if it kept going. But it just doesn't. They keep stopping at shit we've already seen, we've already done. We don't feel like fighting our same enemies over again. We want to fight enemies in games we don't get to usually fight. And that's where Dragon Ball Z Kakarot had its potential. It was great up until it wasn't. Ooh. This is another, like, there's a lot of these specific kind of games on the list. Like, these are the asymmetrical fighting kind of game. Or, not fighting, but asymmetrical genre kind of games. A lot of people don't know what this is. A lot of people ain't gonna know what this game was, because this game was not, it wasn't heavily well known. It was another indie kind of game, asymmetrical PvP kind of game. It was a survival horror. It was fun as hell, though. I'll tell you that much. Because this game is a BR. This game was a BR, a battle royale. But also, it added a different twist. Like, it's a battle royale against other people, but then you also had a twist that werewolves were placed in the match too. 2 werewolves are placed in the same match with you against a battle royale of other people, and you had to deal with people and the werewolves while also trying to escape and kill everyone if you wanted to. This game, where I say had the greatest potential, they finally have released another creature besides the werewolves, but the game literally died as that creature came out, and it was sad because it's like, why? What the fuck happened? Like, there was nothing wrong with this game. I think the only problem is it wasn't presenting itself more. It wasn't getting out there. That was the only issue. It wasn't promoting itself. With a lot more promotion, this game would have been a massive hit, in my opinion. It was fun as hell. But, yep. Another game that could be played again if people come back to it. But, alright, moving on again. Anybody ever played Jump Force? When this game first came out, this was everybody's run to beat your friends up anime game. This game right here was an absolute force. It had people in shambles. It had motherfuckers like, nah, I get to finally play Yugi. I get to play Yugi Moto against Naruto. That was absolutely hilarious. We got to play a game where we're playing any anime character that was ever in shonen or of that genre in general. We got Bleach, we got One Piece, we got Dragon Ball Z, we had JoJo, we had fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, we had a bunch of shit. It was just all of them, bro. All of them into one game, and we just had to love it. The only problem with the game is that, as usual in fighting games, there are the fucking people who find out how to make the game bad. And the people that did that were people who ended up finding out how to make a combo that one-shots your entire team automatically. And then it's just like, oh, so now we're just try-harding. Oh, this game is not fun no more. Why is there a mechanic like this that would allow somebody to automatically take me out without me getting a chance to fight back? Yep. That's what happens in these type of games. Whenever you get a PvP game, people always find a way to exploit what the devs do not seem to know how to fix. And then a game loses its fun. And once you do that, you lose your fan base and everything else just goes to shit. It had potential though. The game had monstrous potential. Which I'm saying about a lot of these games. They all have potential. Henceforth the list. Here's another game that I feel like had a insurmountable amount of potential, but it it died immediately. Hold up. Is this the right one? I don't think that's the right one. I think it's this one. Is it this one? Well, nonetheless, it was this game, Dissidia, right? It was a game that was basically you take Final Fantasy characters and then you fight it out with them. This game had potential to be a very fun fighting game that just didn't get well known enough, and it didn't actually last long due to some of its mechanics. Its mechanics were a little weird, and how to actually fight and win matches was also weird. It wasn't good at explaining how to actually play it. So that's what's kind of like ruined the game. It kind of threw it away very fast because it's just like it almost didn't make sense really. But would I play it again? Maybe if it popped up and people wanted to play it, yeah, I play it again because Sephiroth makes me play games. But yes, Dissidia, potential there. Did it stick? No. And here we go, guys. One of the main games that had an insurmountable amount of potential. But why did it die? Why did it die, guys? People stopped enjoying it for simple reasons, right? They didn't add nothing. They took too long to add extra things to this game. It generally just turned into all these people jumped Jason because Jason no longer was capable of fighting back. Once all the people that played Survivor figured out how to just fight back, Jason couldn't fight back. They would constantly bully Jason's. They would do certain things to him to make him unable to fight back. That's the main issue. If Jason can't fight back, then the game is done. Like, you would find somebody somehow always knowing how to find the shack to get the sweater. You always got a Jarvis called into the game immediately, so he has his shotgun. You got people with the bats. You got people knowing how to get all the stuff and then putting it in certain places so everybody can get away. The game just became so sided, or so Survivor-sided. It was like, what happened to Jason being able to one-shot? Because if you pick somebody up and grab them, you usually can insta-kill. But everybody has a knife. Everybody has fireworks. Everybody just holding hands. It's just like the game became impossible for Jason to play. And the entire fan base immediately ran away. It no longer was playable. People still come back to it every so often though. And like I said for a lot of other games here, if a lot of us group up and want to play, I'm down. Speak in the comments. Tell me whether or not people want to get together and play some more Friday the 13th. Because I'm always down to play it. Super fun game. A lot of fucking playability and a lot of potential. It doesn't have potential anymore now because it's dead. But yeah, I'll play it. I'll still play. And our last game on the list, which I honestly wanted to put as an honorable mention because a lot of people have no idea what this game is, because it actually got removed due to I think I can't remember who the person was, but it might have been one of the developers, I believe. And one of the developers was he would offend people in certain ways. This game right here was a console game that was also an MMO. This was a motherfucking multiplayer. It was a big ass game. It was a multiplayer online game that had so much potential, so much playability. It did everything right. It gave you story, it gave you characters, it gave you like basically abilities, items, looting. It let you play with your friends, it let you have fun. this Marvel game was absolutely amazing, and I feel like I didn't get to enjoy it enough because of whatever happened with one of the devs that made the game go. Either as a dev or a creator, it's whatever that person specifically did. They had to literally throw the game away. And I'm so upset by it because I was so hooked. I was ready to play this game and be into it. But I didn't get what I wanted, sadly. We just can't have nice things because there's always a person that got to ruin it. And that just happens, guys. That happens. But you know, what can we do about that, right? What can we do? Shit happens. There's a lot of more games in the world that has extreme potential. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have your own opinions on which games that are worth going on that list. But clearly we had a monstrous list that we could have been talking here for hours. But we don't want that. We don't want to brain dead everyone right now. So, as we have finally reached the ending here, guys, I want to thank y'all all for sticking around to actually listen to these goddamn honorable mentioned games, which games that should continue getting played, some that should be looked back on, some that we can all play together at some point in time again. And maybe someday a game developer will look back on this and realize we need to remake certain games. Evolve. We need to remake certain games, bring them back, and play them again because the potential is insurmountable and it should always be put first. Don't just ruin your own game and get rid of it. There are people out there solo building games and not getting paid for them, and they're still good. I just want y'all to understand that. So, like I said, thank y'all for coming by again. It's been great. I'll see you guys next week, and we'll see what would the next thing be that we're going to talk about. It could be anything. Just remember that, because this is not a podcast about one thing. We talk about all things that interest us. Thank you, guys. And you guys have fun. Enjoy your days. And again, we'll see you next week. Peace!